And we are here with another episode of Conversations and Connections. Like I always like to say, we're the official podcast of the Family Crisis Center of East Texas. I'm Stuart Burson. I'm the prevention coordinator for the agency. With me today, Veronica Sessions. She is our kitchen manager. And AKA, we all know her. We all know her as Rocky. We call her Rocky. So I'm going to call you Rocky.
That's fine.
Rocky, you've been on the podcast before, and I was looking. Whenever I was thinking about asking you again, I was looking at my notes when you were here last. I want to say it was 2022, maybe.
Probably. It's been a while.
It's been several years ago that you've. And of course, then I kind of surprises me when I think about the podcast being on now for this long. Yeah. But I wanted to bring Rocky in because and Rocky, I'm not saying this because you're here with me now, but I think a lot of my fellow workers like Rocky, a lot of times, guys, I think you are the actual unsung heroes around here. Now, people always talk about the counselors, the advocates, even, what I do, and everything. But my gosh, you're back there every day.
Every day.
Monday through Friday in the kitchen at the Safe House.
Yes.
And you, if anybody, has direct contact with our clients back there. And I just really think that it's the folks like you that a lot of times just kind of keep this engine running, so to speak, you know.
Let me be humble. Everybody likes to eat. Everybody has to eat. So.
Well, everybody's got to eat,
Everybody's
right?
got to eat.
Yeah. So I just kind of want to revisit a little bit about some of the things that you do and your responsibilities back there. So, kitchen manager, what does that even entail? What does that mean? What do you do back there?
I manage. I prepare the menu. Every week I have to prepare a menu so that I know what I need for the groceries, and I pull recipes to go along with the foods that we have. We get gobs of donations in, and it could be lobster legs, or it could be tons of cases of chicken breast, Yeah. And you get tired of the same thing, so you pull all these recipes off the internet, or staff or clients have something that they've always liked, and you just have to come up with different things to make. And just according to what I have on hand, I will use that. I will try to use that first. So when I make my menu, I do that. I take all my recipes and my menu, and I sit down and I write out all my grocery list.
Okay.
And then when I get through with the grocery list, then I go online to H-E-B, and I will make that order to be picked up on the following Monday. And then on Mondays, I go and pick it up. We bring it back, check it off the receipt, date everything according to its best by date. And then another step that I do is when I'm making the menu, after I've done all of the ordering, I will come back and do this thing I created called explanation of menu, so that other staff, just in case I happen not to be there, can know what to do with what's going on and what to pull the day before, so that it would be thought out,
So I guess this is kind of maybe a chicken and the egg type of question. Does what you have on hand dictate the menu, or do you make up the menu and get what you need for it?
For the most part, what I have on hand dictates the menu, because I want to use what we have so that I'm not spending so much money. I feel like, it's who I am, and I'm very frugal, and I don't want to have to spend so much money. The first time I spent almost $900 a week for groceries, I cried. It bothered me so bad. But Kelly and them are like, it's okay.
Well,
it's
and
okay.
that's
Groceries have gone up.
well, and that was one of my next questions about what would you say to feed everybody back there? What's your weekly grocery bill
Well,
about?
back when the groceries were extremely expensive, I was spending $700 and $900 a week. It was just going against everything that I am. I'm scrounging to find. Okay, we're gonna have scrambled egg sandwiches for dinner tonight. But now it's gone down to anywhere from $600
Okay.
to $300 a week.
All right.
And the more donations that we have, the cheaper I can have our grocery bill to be.
Yeah.
So, and I can take some crazy stuff and make a meal out of it. I can go into any kitchen and pull from your cabinets and your freezers and your refrigerators, and I'm going to make you a spread.
What do you have some items that are your go-tos, like your meals, your dishes that are going to be there every week, no matter what? That you always, that's Rocky's specialty, or that's something that you're always going to do?
Well, I try not to make the same thing every week.
Okay.
It's always going to be something different. Now, you might have had chicken and dressing this week, but you ain't going to have it again for another month.
Oh, okay. So it's that spread out
Yes,
between
pretty much.
what you're going to have.
Yes.
Okay.
And then on the weekends, they get a hot breakfast. The staff that works the midnight shift will cook a hot breakfast that I've already, put on the menu for them to do.
Okay.
Monday through Friday, they get either cereal, toast, oatmeal, or a continental breakfast.
Something kind of quick, something simple.
Because, people are getting ready for work, kids are getting ready for school.
Yeah.
On the weekends, they're like, they can chill, they can come
What kind of makes it maybe a little bit more special to have a nice hot breakfast on the weekends, where it makes it make feel a little more
pancakes and sausage or some kind of casserole, breakfast casserole or whatever.
Okay.
And we get a donation from the egg man, and so they get these fresh yard eggs, and they can have scrambled egg sandwiches or whatever.
Okay.
So,
is there there's like a big truck. So we're in our conference room, and I kept hearing something. I'm like, oh man, right here at the gate, there's like a big truck that's right here.
It's the guy.
Who is it?
On the tractor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what gets you? What gets your creative juices flowing? Like, what do you do? Like, you just said, you know what, we're going to make this. Do you said you go online. Do you ever go online to find new things to cook that you may not even be familiar with?
Right. So we had a lady from the East.
Okay.
And she wanted to make some stuff for New Year's. So I had to go online and find some items that you don't get at H-E-B.
Like what?
Well, a certain type of meat, a certain type of soy sauce, noodles.
Okay.
That she was using.
Oh, okay.
So
okay, pardon me. When you said from the East, I was thinking of like New England.
No.
But when you said soy sauce and noodles,
okay. I'm sorry.
You did. When you said from the East, you know what I'm saying? I thought, okay, New York, Boston, the Carolinas. Oh, okay, you mean the East. The East.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. And then...
okay.
What was your question again?
Well, like anything, like what makes you decide on what to cook? I know we talked about sometimes what we have on hand kind of dictates, but when you want to do something new and something different, and Rocky, you've been doing this enough now. I know you probably have cooked everything under the sun that you can think of. I guess where do you get your ideas?
Okay, so I love to eat myself. Okay,
hey,
we all love to eat.
Who doesn't?
And it just depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Okay.
What I'm in the mood to cook.
Yeah.
I cooked beef stew the other day, and I love beef stew. And one of the clients was like, "What, is it supposed to be cold? Is it cold outside?" I'm like, "No, but don't you like beef stew? It don't have
Doesn't
to be
have
cold
to be cold.
to have stew or soups or
Yeah.
gumbo, just
Right.
whatever I'm in the mood for."
That's right.
And then if I don't want to make something heavy, then I'll look for something light to cook.
Yeah.
And lots of times they appreciate that too, because it's not so heavy,
Mm-hmm.
with the pastas and the rice. And, a lot of people get tired of that.
Well, and you kind of mentioned, again, the client from the East. I do like the fact, I know, and you've mentioned this before, not even on the podcast, just in our day-to-day conversations, that you try to get the clients involved in making dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if they want to, you more than welcome that.
Absolutely. I love to learn new techniques, because they do have some techniques that I'm like, oh my gosh, why hadn't I been doing it like that?
Yeah,
Figured out how to get the grunge and the seeds out of a jalapeno pepper. I've always done it one way, and it just would always splatter in my face. And then this other lady comes along and she shows me, you scoop it this way, no more splatter in my face. It's just amazing. It's some techniques that I've learned and recipes that I've learned. And
so when you mentioned peppers, it kind of got my mind going. I have a couple of Tabasco plants at home.
vinegar comes to my mind.
And and I've already been looking at YouTube videos on how to make homemade Tabasco sauce. Of course, these plants haven't even produced anything yet. I mean, literally just got them.
Do they have leaves?
About 3 weeks ago. They're green and they have leaves.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, have we ever had a garden?
Yes. Last year, matter of fact, we had a garden. We had bell peppers and jalapeno peppers and banana peppers.
Now, do you manage that too? Do you manage the garden when you have a garden?
No.
Who does that?
It would have to be the clients, because you have to work a garden in the mornings when it's cool. You can't work a garden and tend to the plants once it gets hot.
Right.
Because they don't like it either.
Yeah.
The plants don't.
I heard you're not supposed to water them like in the middle of the
heat
day, because
no.
it kind of
You're supposed to do it in
cooks
the
them a little
morning.
bit.
So if there's anything to be picked or any of that. So the clients pretty much handled it. And we had this one client, when she got here, it was just about dead. And she went out there and she loved on that garden and had it looking like fairies were living in it. It was so beautiful, and all of it just came back to life.
Well, I'm sure for some people, especially clients, it is. That's exactly what it's like. There's probably it's probably therapeutic for them to go out there and tend to the vegetables and things like that.
And we started getting so much stuff off of there, we couldn't eat it all. I mean, I was chopping peppers and putting it in everything.
No, that just when you said peppers, that made me think. Well, of course, I'm trying to, I don't know what's going to happen with my Tabasco plants, but that made me start thinking, if we ever did anything like that back in the back.
Yeah, they do occasionally. Right. I told them this year. Glenn had asked me what did I want in the garden. I said, well, some collards would be good, because yes. Tabasco sauce for collards.
Hey man, I love my Tabasco sauce, and I'm a southern guy, but I have never been able to embrace collard greens.
So me neither. Growing up, I didn't like turnip greens.
I don't like the way they smell.
None of it.
It's the smell. I don't like the way they smell, Rocky, when they're cooking.
There was this client that came in, this old lady, and she wanted to cook some collard greens, and I bought the stuff for her that she wanted, and I watched her.
Oh, yeah, and I would never deny anybody. Hey, if you want to do it, we'll
She made me eat some.
And?
They were delicious.
So
I even went back for seconds, and I told her, I don't like greens. I'll try them. Okay, I'll try them.
Yeah.
And I did, and I was like, oh, my gosh. I've never tasted greens like this before.
Well, I kind of like spinach, and I like
spinach.
Well, I like it fresh better than cooked. Don't like it canned.
No,
absolutely
not.
I think I would like it frozen better, and then like spinach like in a salad.
Yeah, but that's different. That's
fine.
Baby spinach.
Yeah, and that's fine, right? But it's something about I remember my mom and my grandma cooking some of those, because they both from deep East Texas, and they loved that stuff. And I just, smell that. I just couldn't. I just could never do it.
Okay.
Never could do it. But yeah, I'm sure, if you cook it just right and do the right things to it.
It amazes you.
Yeah, who knows?
That you will eat the things that you swore you would never eat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most unusual thing you've ever had to cook? That you're like, man, somebody requested and you had no idea where.
Dirty rice. I'd never cooked dirty rice till I come here.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I had to Google it because we had a client that loved dirty rice and she wanted it for her birthday. So I was like, okay. So I figured it out and was completely shocked that it requires chicken livers.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And I don't like liver.
Yeah.
And so when I go to make it, and I'm chopping up all this liver, it looks like I should be at the lake fishing instead. I just don't tell the clients that there's liver in it.
Nah.
But
it's
if
dirty
you
rice.
don't put that liver in it,
yeah,
it won't taste like dirty rice.
Now, I'll be honest with you. The only dirty rice I ever make is like the Zatarans, like in the box.
No,
that's what I
like
make.
it.
And I'll agree with you about liver. And I don't know, maybe it's chicken liver may be different than beef liver. I don't know. My dad used to always love, like if we'd ever go like to churches or Kentucky Fried Chicken, he'd get a box of livers and gizzards.
Yeah, no. No, I'm good.
And,
I can't do it.
And eat those. Well, that's cool though. And I really do like that you're willing to try new things back there.
Oh,
and especially if a client, because you got to think about the clients. They're not in the best situation in their lives.
No.
And you want to give them some form of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what another thing, Rocky, I think that's really cool about what you do. Yes, we can, up there at the front, the counselors can do the counseling and we can do the advocacy and, I can talk to them about healthy relationships and everything. But you still want them to have, especially when they're in the shelter.
Yes.
You want them to have that feeling of comfort and, like it or not, whether the health gurus like it or not, some of the best feelings you can get that make you feel comfortable is some good food.
Homemade food.
Some homemade food, right?
I've had so many clients tell me, oh, this reminds me of when I was a little girl and was at home with my grandma or my mama. You cook just like my mom. And, and they just love, and then they want to hug. And of course, I'm fluffy, so they like to hug. and it gives them a sense of better times.
Yeah. Something I'm curious about, being a nonprofit and being in the business. I'm not to say business because we are a nonprofit agency, but so providing the services that we provide. Do we fall like the kitchen, like your kitchen? Do you go through health inspections and everything like that, like a restaurant would?
We have to have our food handlers.
Okay.
And we have guidelines that we follow as far as how we store our foods and how we use our foods and
okay.
So as far as that goes, now restaurant style service.
Does the health department ever come and do an inspection? Okay.
No.
I mean, and I'm not saying that's good or bad. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I didn't know what.
I think they've come once, maybe twice since I've been here.
Because technically, we're not a restaurant,
right?
And so I just didn't know.
We don't charge for meals, that's where that comes in.
But rest assured, I've been in your kitchen. And for anybody who doesn't know, the kitchen back there is borderline restaurant size and grade.
Right.
And you have the huge utensils and a big stove and things like that. And so, and I've seen Rocky keep her strict charts and notes, and we got the walk-in freezer and the walk-in fridge, and Rocky's always checking expiration dates, and the expiration dates are labeled and on the shelves with the food and things like that. What is it that really gives you the most satisfaction in doing what you do?
I would probably say when a client comes in, usually the first day they come in, they're going to be in that dining room by themselves, nibbling on something, shaking, worried, what is the next step going to be? And after coming in and eating a good hot meal that evening, it kind of, you can see it calms them down a little bit.
Okay.
And then for the next few days, you've got more meals or whatever. And just seeing them come out of their shell, seeing that they can trust us and that we're here to help them. And then when they want to come to you for advice, and then they want to know, what we can do for them, or just being happy in a place where you wouldn't think there would be any way you could ever be happy because you just come out of a bad situation. I mean, just having them trust you, pretty much, to get them through this.
Yeah.
And I love to be able to help them in any way possible.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you may even think, maybe idle little chit chat while making dinner is just as therapeutic as
it is
sitting down and having a formal counseling session.
Right. Absolutely. And a lot of them, they'll want to come in there and help with dinner, and that's when they start opening up. And telling me all kinds of things. And I'll share a little bit of my survival to them and let them see that you can overcome it. You can be an overcomer of all these things. You've just got to make the right choices. And I talk to them like they're my children sometimes. And
that's okay. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I've always been a caretaker. I'm still a caretaker. And
how did you find yourself where you are today? Like, how long have you been here with the agency now?
Next month, a week from yesterday. Not a week, a month from yesterday, the 7th. May the 7th is my anniversary date, and it will be 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So have you been doing this the whole time?
Well, when I first started, there was 4 crisis workers.
Okay.
And then they added there was a floater, but we never could keep them, so it was always just 4. And then they added a transportation specialist, so there was 5 of us. And I was a crisis worker when I came on, and I did that for 6.5 years. Well, then they started adding more positions, and Glenna asked me one day, would you like to have the position of kitchen manager? And I said, well, what are the hours? Because I was working till midnight.
Well, when just so crisis workers are the folks that work back in the safe house. And of course, the safe house is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week operation.
Yes, nonstop.
Yeah.
Always somebody there. Answering phones and doing whatever the client's needs. So that's what I was doing. And I was doing 3 12s and a 4. And I did that for 6.5 years. And then when they created the position of kitchen manager, yes, I'll take it, And I had already created that explanation of menu as a crisis worker.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just started putting it all together and was able to focus more Because when how it is when you have too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Right.
Everybody has responsibility to cook a meal, and if nobody's specifically in charge of making those menus and buying them groceries and making sure everything is set out and ready for that person who's got to cook, it can be chaotic.
Yeah.
And so they created it to be one person's responsibility, and here I am.
All right. Okay. Rocky. Well,
Either way.
I gotta ask, where did Rocky come from?
So Veronica came from my dad's favorite comic book, Archie and Veronica.
Okay.
So he liked brunettes because Mom was brunette. Okay, so then as a child, when all of my cousins were little, I have a cousin who couldn't say Veronica, and he called me Rockina.
Rockina.
So that's
Isn't that
where
funny
that
how
came
some of
from.
our nicknames, the origins, how that happens.
Rocky came from
And you
that.
never thought you'd carry that to adulthood.
Yeah, I was Rocky before Sylvester Stallone was. So I do not like to fight.
Rocky Sessions, our kitchen manager here at the Family Crisis Center. Thanks so much. It's always good talking to you. We don't really get to see each other anymore,
No,
as
we
much
don't.
as we used to, because we're officed in two separate buildings.
Yes, I have never
So-
even seen your building since it's been created.
You have never been to
I've
the
never
production.
been over
Well,
there.
you need to pay me and Will a visit
I
sometime.
do, one day.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we're usually working about the same time.
Right,
So.
right. Okay, Rocky, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
having me.
Rocky Sessions, Veronica Sessions, whatever you want to call her, she'll answer, I'm sure. Our kitchen manager here at the Family Crisis Center. If you feel like you need the services of the Family Crisis Center, I do want to remind you of our toll-free number. That's 1-800-828-7233. And be the voice. If not for you, for someone else.